Stop whatever you are doing right now. Before you watch this video, I need you to do one thing. Go find the nearest mirror, stand in front of it, and just stare at your reflection for 5 seconds. Did you feel it? That slight, uncomfortable feeling, like something is just off. You thought it was nothing. You thought it was just you being weird. But what if that feeling was your brain trying to warn you about something it already knows? What if that mirror is not showing you right now? What if it is showing you tomorrow? It started with a physicist named Dr. Raymond Cole in 1969. He was not trying to discover anything unusual. He was just studying how light bounces off reflective surfaces. Normal stuff, boring stuff. But then one night, working late alone in his laboratory, he noticed something that made him put down his coffee and never pick it up again. His reflection blinked half a second before he did. He rubbed his eyes, checked the mirror, checked the lighting, checked everything. He sat back down and stared at his reflection for 1 full hour without moving. And then it happened again. His reflection moved its hand before he moved his hand. He packed up his notes that night and drove home in silence. The next morning, he came back and started the experiment that would consume the next 3 years of his life. He called it Project Reflection, and what he found inside those 3 years was something that science still cannot fully explain today. Here is what we know for certain. Every mirror in the world has a reflection delay of exactly 0.3 seconds. Now, before you say that is just physics, just light bouncing, just normal science, listen to this. The speed of light is 299 million meters per second. The distance between you and a mirror is maybe half a meter. That means your reflection should appear in 0.000000016 seconds, not 0.3 seconds. So where is that extra time going? Dr. Cole spent 3 years trying to answer that question, and the answer he came up with was so disturbing that he buried his research and never published it, until his daughter found his notebooks in 2019 and uploaded them to the internet. His conclusion was this: mirrors do not reflect the present moment, they absorb it, and what they show you back is not where you are, it is where you are going. In 1972, a researcher named Marcus Webb decided to test this theory in the most extreme way possible. He built a small room, completely sealed, no windows, no clocks, no contact with the outside world. Every single wall was covered floor to ceiling with mirrors. He brought enough food and water for 7 days, and he went inside. Day 1 was normal. He journaled, he exercised, he slept. Day 2, he started noticing small things. His reflection seemed to move a fraction slower than him. He told himself it was the isolation playing tricks. Day 3, he stopped sleeping. He sat in the center of the room, staring at his reflections from every angle. Something was changing. The reflections did not look exactly like him anymore. Subtle differences, a slightly different tilt of the head, a hand resting differently. Day 4 changed everything. He was sitting completely still, not moving a single muscle, and his reflection smiled. He did not smile. His reflection did. He screamed and ran to the door, but he had locked it from the inside, and in his panic, he could not find the key. He spent 6 hours sitting in the corner with his eyes closed, refusing to look at any surface. When they finally opened the door on day 7, Marcus Webb walked out and spoke only one sentence. He said, "It was showing me things that had not happened yet." He never looked in a mirror again for the rest of his life. He covered every reflective surface in his home with black cloth. He ate without plates. He shaved by touch alone. He died in 2019 at the age of 74. His last journal entry read, "I saw my own funeral 30 years before it happened, and every detail was exactly right." Here is what makes this even more disturbing. This is not new information. Ancient civilizations knew this thousands of years ago. The Egyptians did not use mirrors for vanity. Their polished bronze mirrors were kept in temples, guarded by priests. Only certain people were allowed to look into them, and those people were called seers. Not because they were psychic, because the mirror showed them things. In ancient China, mirrors were buried with emperors, not as decorations, but as navigation tools. Navigation for the afterlife, because they believed mirrors could show you paths through time. In ancient Greece, the oracle at Delphi used a sacred mirror called the catoptromancy glass. People would travel hundreds of miles to look into it and see glimpses of their future. Every single culture, every single continent, completely separate from each other, all arrived at the same conclusion. Mirrors are not reflections, they are windows, and something on the other side is looking back. Now, I want you to think about your own life for a moment. Have you ever looked in a mirror and felt like your reflection took just a fraction too long to copy you? Have you ever seen your reflection out of the corner of your eye and thought it was someone else standing there? Have you ever woken up at 3 a.m., walked past a mirror in the dark, and felt absolutely certain you should not look at it? That is not anxiety. That is instinct. That is some ancient part of your brain that still remembers what your ancestors knew, that the thing in the mirror is not you. It is a version of you. from a time that has not arrived yet. Dr. Cole's final notebook entry before he disappeared in 1972, the same year Marcus Webb entered his mirror room, said this. He wrote, "I have been studying my reflection for 3 years, and I have come to one conclusion that I cannot scientifically disprove. The mirror is not broken. We are. We move through time forward, 1 second at a time, completely blind to what is ahead. But the mirror moves through time differently. It sees the whole path. And every morning, when you stand in front of it, it is trying to show you something. We are just too afraid to look closely enough to see it."
So tonight, when the house is quiet, when the lights are low, walk up to your mirror slowly, stand completely still, and watch your reflection. Really watch it. Wait for that 0.3-second delay and ask yourself one question. Is it copying me or am I copying it? Sleep well.